I'm part of Deepak, and yesterday evening I was asked to speak to you. I was like, oh my God, what do I speak about? And everyone here is going to speak to you about so much, tell you all the facts, tell you all the figures. So I decided I would tell you about something else. I would tell you about how these attacks on disabled people are part of a much bigger issue. As John McArdle said, we're heading for catastrophe. We're heading for something that Extinction Rebellion has been calling out and saying we're heading for extinction. And the attacks on disabled people are where they started, where the Nazis started, where Deepak's black triangle at the heart of their logo comes from. Is how these things start by kicking at and kicking down at and killing those that society already looks down upon, marginalizes, considers burdens in one way or another. The rhetoric of this government has deliberately othered disabled people, so that when we have been dying in our hundreds and thousands, literally hundreds and thousands. Last year, UCL produced a report, and in that report they found over 1 million people had died in this country as a result of cuts and austerity.
Boo.
Cuts and austerity that were not just carried out by the Tories, but supported by Labour MPs who are now in power and doing worse. This is part of a bigger picture, and we need to know that they depend on Divide to be able to do this. Disabled people around the world, but people all over the world who are not yet disabled, who are going to be disabled because of their pollution, because of their air pollution, because of their water pollution, because of their flooding, because of their fires, because of what they are doing. And what's it for? All for the sake of money. Money is the problem. And they're stealing our money, saying that it's needed because they have to balance the books. They can't afford this. They can afford warfare. They can afford to send bombs to kill our family in Palestine. We are not separate from nature. We are not separate from Palestine. We are not separate from each other. We are one. Disabled and not disabled. Disabled and not yet disabled. We look at the refugee crisis. They say we don't have space to let these people in. Where are we going to go when it comes to us, when it comes to our turn? They're building, they're allowing developers to build on floodplains. They know that those people will get flooded, will not be able to claim any insurance. The housing situation, they are deliberately making that housing situation. The housing crisis, the NHS crisis, the disability crisis, they're all interconnected. We're not separate. In the news, they keep talking about disability cuts, welfare cuts, and then making it out that we have a worklessness crisis. We don't have a worklessness crisis. We have a crisis that's about inhumanity, that equates worklessness with worthlessness. They're bringing in their assisted suicide bill, and they talk about how being a burden will be sufficient cause to allow and enable the state to offer us assisted suicide. We are not burdens. We are humans. Can I hear you all say that? We are not burdens.
We are not
humans.
burdens. We are humans.
It is time to remember and remind ourselves that this is not just about disabled people. This is about all people, and not just about all people, but about all beings.
Yeah.
Our entire planet is at risk, and they know it, and they don't care. There's a Wall Street Journal book out there. If you look it up, you'll find it, about how to make money out of catastrophe.
Is that the capitalism?
Exactly. Exactly. Every time we've had any kind of disaster, including Brexit, guess what happened? There was money transfer. Money transferred from us to the few. This is about the money. Let's not ever let them forget that, and let's not ever forget that ourselves. And unite the world together and get everyone we don't want our allies. We are their allies. When our non-disabled people think that they're being our allies, no. We are fighting this for you. For your planet, for your rights, for your welfare system, for your NHS. Stand with us because we stand for you. Let's never forget that. Thank you. And don't forget, join DPAC. Add your donations, add your support, come out on every single one of these actions. If you can't come out, join us online. Do what you can. Every voice, every action is needed.